was talking about wearable technology, or Bionics 2.0 as I like to call it. Really we're all bionic already. We all hand over large portions of our capabilities to smartphone. With me it's the memory. I have a terrible memory. I wouldn't remember my wife's birthday, let alone anything else, without a smartphone and the cloud behind it. I wouldn't have been able to navigate here without it. And so I've handed off what would have been human capabilities before, memory and sense of direction, to a device. What's coming around the corner, 2014 and beyond, is more and more wearable technology. We already wear wristbands to track our health. We're going to be looking at wearable devices like Google Glass. And once you start to do that, you're getting permanent prompts about who people are, things to say, live translation of foreign languages. You blur the line between what is a human capability and what is an augmented digital capability. And really I was talking about not so much the privacy implications, which a lot of people have addressed, but what happens when that capability goes away. How do you treat someone who has built up a digital capability as an employee? When they go, do they take with them that device and all the data they've built up and all they've learned? Do they put that on their CV? What happens if it gets hacked? Do you get a sick note saying, I'm sorry, my work code processor is broken? What happens if that data gets deliberately damaged? If you've built up over the course of your life a bunch of skills that are stored digitally, or memories or photos, and those are vandalized or attacked, is that a crime of vandalism, or is it a crime of assault, or GBH even? And so really trying to get people thinking about not so much the privacy implications, as I say, which I think have been well addressed. There's lots of cafes in America that have already banned Google Glass because they don't want people taking surreptitious photos. But if we are going to hand over more of our capabilities to digital devices that are worn on our person, that disappear into our person, how do we cope when those things go away? I think there is a huge policy challenge. I mean, it's taken us, we're 10 years into social media now. It's going to be another 10 years before we have anything like a robust legal framework to deal with, or even codify social media. Is it a publishing tool? Is it a communications tool? The law just doesn't know at the moment. It's going to probably take 20 years for for government and for legislation to catch up with wearable technology. So in the meantime, it's up to society. So there's a huge challenge for society to work out what is acceptable, what's not, and also to enforce those rules. The one thing that's happened is really interesting on digital networks is that the community has become its own enforcer, either at a general level of opprobrium for people doing unpleasant things, or even activist groups like Anonymous, going after in a vigilante style people who do commit acts that the community finds unacceptable. So there's going to be a societal rules challenge. There is absolutely a security challenge. If you've got huge members of your workforce who are reliant on some sort of digital augmentation, and that gets taken out, it could cause enormous damage to your company. And yet these are devices which sit well outside any notion of a perimeter. They're not something that can be protected the same way that you might protect a PC sat on a desktop. That's enough of a challenge as it is with bring your own device and corporately owned, privately enabled devices, which are the hot topic of debate for CIOs at the moment. What are they going to do when the devices that they're concerned about are effectively people's jewellery? So I'm plenty to think about.